They got a zipper on the bag. Well, good evening, YouTube friends. We're glad you're here. Marvin and I thought we'd do a quick sit down tonight.
I'm just reading comments.
A few weeks ago, my mom calls me and says, oh, there's some tea that will help lower cholesterol. And she told me about it, and so I ordered this. Now, it's been a couple times I've ordered this tea. I really like it. I don't know if it lowers cholesterol or not. It says that it does help. I just know it makes me feel good.
Wouldn't our cholesterol be lower if we just went down to the basement? Get it? The one guy goes to the doctor, and the doctor told me sugar is too high, so he went home and moved his sugar to a lower shelf. Get it?
I've shown this tea before on our channel, but this is the tea. I bought it from my mom because she's always looking for ways to lower her cholesterol. It says DeCholesterolipid tea. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't know if it lowers cholesterol. I never tested it or anything. I just know it does make me feel better, and my mom likes it as well. There's like 100 packets in here, so it does last for a while.
You guys might wonder what's up with the patch or the band-aid on the finger. Well, I have been working on one of the rooms downstairs, and drywall dust really dries out my hands.
So his fingers are cracking.
Yeah. I've been trying to always wear gloves, but I took the gloves out on them. I took them out of the trailer and was using them downstairs, and then at work we ran out of gloves, out of the good quality gloves, so I took them back to work.
So you don't have any?
No, so I don't have any down in the basement.
Yeah. The boys each have a bedroom. We are remodeling it right now.
Just finishing it, actually.
Yep, finishing and remodeling each room. We're letting the boys choose their colors. Jerome chose kind of a, what would it be, a dark gray? A really dark color.
It's not a really dark gray. It would be more like taupe. There's a color by the name of taupe.
Okay.
Close to the color of the outside of our house, I realized. It's pretty close to that color.
Yeah, and Morgan chose kind of like an earth color. I'm on a friend group. It's on Marco Polo, and one of the ladies called it peanut butter color. It isn't
close.
My color, but it's something Morgan likes, so that's what he likes.
It looks like something you would see in the Southwest on Adobe.
Yeah, it is a nice color. I think it'll look great. I think he's going to want like a log bed and make it look
he wants
like
all
a
his,
man cave.
He wants all his furniture to match with the same stain. I wonder where he gets that from.
Yeah. Yeah. So
unlike somebody who'll throw a bright red or yellow chair in the room just so it stands out.
Oh yeah, I like that. You know, they do say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So yeah. I like bright colors that stick out, and bright yellows, bright reds. On my porch, I like when something is bright. It makes me happy. And we used to have, when we first got married, Marvin wanted everything dark, like brown and camo. His favorite was like camo. So I had camo curtains, a dark brown walls. It was
I
just
even
dark,
had
dark.
her sister Esther make her a camo dress, which she got a lot of compliments
Oh
on
yes,
that.
maybe someday I'll wear my camo dress. Yes, so my sister Esther is an amazing seamstress. She also made my sister a camo dress, Emily. I don't know if Emily still has it or not. But anyway, what I was going to say is, when we sold our one house, we moved into a rental for just a while, few months, and that rental had white cupboards.
Bright white and red accents.
Yes, kitchen cupboards. And I didn't think of it, but Marvin noticed that my mood was brighter and happier in that kitchen. And I knew that that kitchen so bright and just cheery gave me a more positive outlook. Because of that, he was okay for me to have a white kitchen.
I always thought it was just ridiculous when I worked in the cabinet shop, people would pay top dollar for paint grade cabinets.
White.
Like white.
Yeah.
For painted cabinets. And guess what? We now have white cabinets, so.
I like bright colors.
Yeah.
It makes me feel cheery and makes me happy.
Here someone says, we love our chick cozy. It has been a game changer. Thank you for all the good information. Great tutorial.
Yes. For those of you who haven't seen our last video, we have some baby chicks. And we had a company reach out to us, Chick Cozy.
They sent us the chick cozy, the thing that we
warming
put on,
pad, yeah, for little chicks. It is really nice because it has it stands on 4 legs and it is low to the ground. So if you have little tiny chicks right out of the incubator, you can just put it right under that warming pad, and it's like a mother hen. They stay right under there and they stay warm.
Unless the sun comes up and it shines in the opposite corner, then they go in the opposite corner and crowd. So we moved it over to where the sun shines. I was getting pretty frustrated the other morning with that, and Mary kind of mentioned, well, you do have to remember they do have a bird brain. Christine Schwartz, good morning. Your food looks delicious. Wow, congratulations on your new little chicks. That was pretty amazing. Thank you for sharing this with us. And Carolyn Spalding, well, thank you for sharing this little new life. Love this.
Little chicks are so fun. They're
so
cute.
I had mentioned that I wanted all the chickens in the barn that I built, but I have another mother hen in the other in the front section that has a couple of chicks. There's other stuff in there. It's not insulated, and so they're still in the house.
Yes.
This is for OK Santa Holdeman. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Great tutorial. I'm getting all enthused to help my daughter raise some chicks. We live near Polson, Montana. Grew up in Bonners Ferry. Okay, awesome.
We know Bonners Ferry. We're from there as well.
Crazy Doxy Lady. Thanks for the
Crazy Doxy Lady.
Thanks for the info, Marvin. Very helpful. Even though I cannot have chickens where I live, really enjoyed the video as well, as always. Nancy from Ohio. That's a bummer you can't have chickens. I know some places they're allowed to have chickens, but no roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just part of life, I guess, depending where a person lives.
We have 4 or 5 roosters crowing at once. You can just imagine how annoying that can be. And they can be loud. They can be really loud. I do enjoy getting up in the morning and hearing a rooster crowing. But if you hear like 5 or 6 crowing at once, it's like, something has to give. It's too much rabbit.
They start competing. It's like try to outdo each other.
Yeah, one crows, another one crows. They're competing against each other, and it gets raspy and loud.
Plus the hard on the hens too. Yeah,
and so I always think of our poor neighbors who live right beside us.
Well, this spring I hatched out a whole bunch with the chickens that set incubator. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of roosters, and we butchered, and I kept observing the roosters. And there was one red one that didn't crow very loud and didn't crow very much. He was just kind of a more docile rooster. So we butchered every rooster except that one. And all of a sudden, this guy found his voice on steroids. It was so bad, you couldn't go outside. He'd follow you around and just crow nonstop.
Like, how does his throat not get sore crowing that often? It was just over and over and over. I do know you can get something to make so they can't crow as much.
You can restrict the volume.
Yes.
Yeah, but
which is something we should look into.
The amazing thing for me was, because I observed all the roosters, and he was the quietest guy. until maybe a month after I butchered all the other ones. And then he turned to be the most loudest, obnoxious. He was friendly. He just kind of follow you around. You wouldn't hear him crow as much until you walked outside. And then he just crowed nonstop. We'd go outside, try to videotape. He would be crowing nonstop. He'd follow you around. And so he also ended up in the crock pot. What's up, Jordan? Not sure. Not sure what to say. Going back to school tomorrow?
This is Sunday night, and it's always so refreshing on a weekend. Then it's back to the grindstone tomorrow, right?
Learning and learning.
Yep. He's in 2nd grade and looking forward to being 3rd, huh?
Here's a comment from Mark. I do not understand why you need a holding tank for water to water the lawn when the floods wash away the topsoil. Why not just grow some grass in indoor trays or something and name it shoulda coulda and then watch the flood wash away the topsoil? The videos you have sure would change my mind. So where we're at in the Northwest, most of our moisture falls, I would say, from November, December till about April or sometimes May. We can get some rain in June, but where we need the water is July and August.
Yeah.
It's usually about 2 months.
Yeah.
That it basically doesn't rain. Once in a while it will, but generally speaking, July and August,
Doesn't rain.
sometimes through the middle of September, it basically does not rain any amount of significant moisture. And that's why we have the high fire dangers.
Yeah, we have high. Have you ever heard of the fires in Montana? That is why.
Yeah.
We don't get much rain throughout the last months of summer.
Our average here is, I think, 24 inches a year, which is about 50% of a lot of places on the other side of the Mississippi. So anyway, getting back to the holding tank, I've had some people tell me, well, just get a holding tank and it rains, it'll fill up. Well, yes, when it rains, we don't need to water, but we would need to get enough water, and we need to get a big enough holding tank to last us 6 to 8 weeks. And that would take a large holding tank to water the lawn, whatever.
Okay. So for some people, they may not quite understand. We posted a video a month or so ago about floodwaters. Why would it be flooding, and then we would need to water? Maybe some people don't understand how it works. There is a rainy season and a dry season here. It's a season when we often get a lot of rain. And that happened.
Well, you guys saw the video.
Yeah, you guys saw the video, and it was more rain than usual. And that was around the rainy season. But then when it doesn't rain, it's often very dry.
The faucet will basically shut off end of June, into July. But this winter has been a very, very abnormal winter for us. It's very concerning. We've had a little bit of snow here or there. Hasn't been very cold. The coldest I saw was 12 degrees. Oh, no, it wasn't. We had 0.
We had really cold for a couple of days.
But it didn't stay. But the snow is pretty. We have a few patches here or there. There's not much snowpack in the mountains.
We're hoping for more snow before spring arrives, because it's going to be very dry if we don't. Because
everything's on a hillside, it dries out really quick, and if the snow is melted early in the year, it dries out really quick, and when the fires get started, it gets really, really bad. So hopefully we'll get some snow yet, but this has been the winter of no snow for the most part. The other thing that you guys might remember is the windstorm and the power outage we had. Along with that, there's a lot of trees that went down. We cleaned up the ones in the yard here for the most part. But there's a guy that called me, her brother Marcus is developing a property, building spec homes. It was solid timber. He logged it to where he wanted, put 3 spots in it for building sites. And the windstorm came through and just took out a whole bunch more trees. So in between projects, we're over there cutting that up, and I'm guessing that might be easily 3 to 5 years worth of firewood. You know, the farmers say you got to make hay when the sun shines, and this is an opportunity on flat land to go in and get some easy firewood, and we'll stack it up. There's a bunch of trees in there that are large enough to put on the sawmill that we're going to use for the back here. There's another guy that had some bigger trees that went down. So we'll take you along and show you guys that. But, you know, it's not all bad, the windstorm.
Yeah, we get lots of firewood out of it.
Get a lot of firewood out of the deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here chatting. If you hear a lot of chirping in the background and scratching, we still have our little chicks in the box that we showed you.
There, so.
Yep. So if you hear the chirping and the scratching, it's the little chicks. They're going to be going out in the next few days.
They do need to go out. The reason I haven't had them out in the shop yet, I have an area that I usually put the chicks, and that's right where my racks are for lumber, for like the trim. I'm making and varnishing, staining all the trim for the next room I'm working on. Really loud, sawdust and fumes, and I just felt it would be better not to have them in there during all that commotion. But I do need to get them out because Mary has had issues in the past. If the chicks are in the house for about 3 weeks, chickens give off a very, very fine dust.
Yes.
And she all of a sudden starts having respiratory issues.
Yes. You don't want to have chickens in the house. Otherwise, we're not the Beverly Hillbillies. Are we? Shooing the chickens off the table.
No, not quite.
We wouldn't be having this many chickens if it wouldn't be for him. He's the chicken guy. I guess we should call you the chicken guy.
Instead of the crazy chicken lady, the crazy chicken guy.
The crazy chicken guy would be.
It all started out on our other property. If you guys have watched us 3 years.
I've been doing YouTube for, I think, over 4 years.
So on that property, I built a little barn. Was 8 foot wide, 12 foot long. Built a cute little barn. Most of it was out of salvaged materials. And when Michael and Emily moved up to Alaska, they had some older hens. I think I got 11 of them.
Oh.
Maybe 10 hens and 1 rooster. I can't remember. And then I went to the sale up in Rexford.
And we got some chickies there.
I got 8 chicks there. A couple of them ended up being roosters. And then Mary bought me an incubator for my birthday.
And I have it all in a video. And if I can find it, I will post the link.
First year, we started out with, 12.5 chickens. And then first thing I knew, I had over 60. Well, I hatched, I think, 2 or 3 when I first got the incubator. And the idea was to hatch enough young ones and then butcher all the old ones.
It's life on the farm.
Yeah, we should go out and show the greenhouse. I left all the tomato and pepper plants in there, and gives it a little bit more of a natural outdoorsy feel.
Yeah.
It does get cold in there at night, but during the daytime it warms up really, really well. And the chickens are in there just scratching and digging that thing up, and they've demolished a bunch of the tomato plants, which was kind of the idea. But when it gets warm enough for us to start planting in there, we'll go in there, clean everything up, level it out. I do need to put, the mistake I made last year in the greenhouse is I took maybe half a gallon of material and just maybe about this size and planted the tomato plants in it. I dug out and put good dirt in it. I need to, dig a pretty decent hole, big enough that all the roots in the plants don't go into the acidic soil that's there naturally. Yeah. Just the other day, I was out there, just sitting out there watching. I have 10 young ones out there and 1 mother hen out there, and it is really, really nice and warm in there.
Yeah.
During the daytime, probably 65, almost 70 degrees.
Yeah. So this next upcoming video, I am working on going through my canning room, cleaning all the jars, washing off the shelves, clearing out the cobwebs, organizing. It's that time of the year.
It's always reorganization going on down in the canning room because when we harvest meat, vegetables, fruits, and can them, we all have to make their own categories and put them in their own place. And then as you use them, well, the cans get empty and then things get shuffled around. So it's every, I mean, I've gone down there a couple of times and just like consolidated all the quart wide mouths, all the quart narrow mouth, all the pints.
Yeah.
Consolidated all, you know, got each in his kind of his own spot.
Yeah, but this week I'm going through a thorough cleaning, and I want to try and use up all the onions that I can. We still have quite a few. I took out a bunch of meat from the freezer. I am planning on making meatballs and barbecued meatballs. And for the barbecued meatballs, I need a lot of onions. So I'm hoping to use up a lot of the onions and just start using what's down in the basement in our in the canning room, so that when canning season comes around again, you know, things get ripe in the garden.
So do
we have room down there.
Do we have a lot of canned chicken left from last year?
Yeah, we have a lot of canned
Is that
chicken.
something
So
you're
last year we got 30 meat birds, processed them ourselves, and I canned the meat, which is wonderful.
Mary
We have our own
uses it
canned
in
meat.
just about everything. I mean, it's like, it's not on the bones.
No, it's deboned.
It's deboned, kind of chunked up small. She uses it in just about everything, like in casseroles, in salads, in beans.
Oh yeah, chicken is good in almost anything. It's going towards springtime, planting season, and that's one thing I want to do is go through the freezer, see what I have there, go through my canning room, and start using the food that we have in storage.
Another way that the canned chicken is really good is for lunch meat.
Oh
I
yeah, for
love
sure.
it. Just diced up with some mayo on it and bread. It is. I just love cold chicken.
Yeah, yes, for sure. So guys, this is our Sunday night catch-up. We're glad you're here. And leave us a comment. Let us know what you're doing this week. We love to hear from you. So thank you guys for being here. Stay tuned for next time.
See you next time. This is the project here. You see all these down trees? These are the ones that were left. And there's 15 acres here. There's a bunch of them in here that are big enough for milling. You know, like some of these, we want to build a swing set too. A nice swing set for the boys. I'll mill those into square beams. Build a swing set out of that. But there's a lot of firewood in here. Lots of firewood. We'll have them cut them up into length, into 20-foot length, and then we'll just load them up and take them home, and then I'll pick through them for what I want to put on the sawmill, what I want for firewood. But the goal is to get them out of here as fast as we can. Definitely this winter yet, before spring breakup, so we can still haul everything. And yeah, there's a lot of firewood here.